Biggie just gave me something. This is nice for my son, my son graduated high school yesterday. We got him there. We got him through.
Yeah.
We didn't until
who cried more at the event, Dad or Mom?
It may have been me. I was. It was an emotional moment. I'll tell you. It's not. I told my wife, it's not like high school is some huge accomplishment or anything, but it's just such a marking in time of going from one phase of your life to the next.
It's a monster milestone for sure.
It is. It really is. When you do it, and people said to me like, "How you doing this week?" And I was like, I didn't even think about it really. And then, when you get in there, you're like, "Oh wow, this is something," you know. And it was nice. It was a really nice ceremony. Boy, the kid that won, they had the salutatorian speak and the valedictorian speak. And when they were going over like the things they had done in high school, it's unbelievable. The salutatorian had started a business and, all of those things.
My God.
It's incredible. And then
your son made a 3-pointer in a league game, right?
One.
Yeah,
he did.
I mean,
it counts.
He could have made a speech.
In a rec game. That's what I said. When they started marching in, all the students, some had gold sashes around their necks. And my daughter says, "What's that?" I said, "Well, that's for like all the honors, some honor they received." And she said, "Will Ben get one?" And I said, "Oh no, sweetheart, you're not gonna, not gonna see that."
We're in the happy to be here camp.
And then they had a listing of every student, of course, and beside many names were several different little symbols, a little triangle,
honors and awards, and such.
Yes. So I had to look at the grid there, the key to see, and there were Beta Club and Governor's School and all these different things, and they had all of that stuff. And then she looked at his name and said, "Why does he not have any?" And I said, "Sweetheart,
don't worry about it.
Let's not think about it." Exactly.
Yes.
I'll tell you something else about the graduation this time. This has changed. You know how they used to say, "Hold your applause," no talking, no cheering,
nothing.
But there always is. They always do that. Well, this time they said, "Applaud after your student's name, but keep it brief so that the next student can have their name announced." And that really went well. Every single student, it was like, Ann Adams, woo!
Yeah.
And then to the next. It was just that quick.
Okay.
And they go on there. But
did you hoot and holler?
Oh yeah, I tried to give him a good hoot and holler. We were in the Coliseum. It was a big place, big room. And when his name was called, I gave a big hoot and holler.
How many graduates in his class?
Almost 500. It was 400 and 475, something like that. Jeez. It was a long. But I'll tell you what, they've got that down to a science.
We started our class, I think, 525, and about 480 made it across the finish line.
Us too. We started at 245. We were small, 245, and we got 222 is what we wound up with. Yeah.
I don't know. I know when I entered high school, I was part of the biggest class for the high school.
Oh, really?
That had ever come through.
Yeah.
And I do remember at the senior awards ceremony, they announced that we had the most dropouts of any class.
All right.
In history.
All right. Now, hold your applause, please.
Hold your applause.
Please let every dropout have his or her moment.
I'll never forget that. They were like, "We've also had this is the most dropouts in school history.
Yeah.
You were the biggest class, and now you have the most dropouts." Which I thought, well, that's just a numbers thing.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, of course it is. Right,
Yeah.
That's right. When they came across the stage, everybody got a hoot and a holler, and some louder than others. Some had big throngs of people there. Because it's in the Coliseum, we got plenty of tickets. When I graduated, you didn't get that many because it was in a small gymnasium. Our high school gymnasium didn't hold nearly as many. One girl who graduated played it up. She walked. Most, of course, shook the hand, took the diploma. You got 3 seconds. You take a picture.
Picture next.
That's it, right? I mean, one young lady. She had her name called. She got the diploma, and then she started doing the "I can't hear you."
Oh, the Hulk Hogan move.
Yeah, she put her hand behind her ear, and then
more noise.
Okay, and the crowd went, and then she stuck out her tongue. This, "Oh, I got it." And I said later to my son, after he returned home, I said, "What was this? Why?" I said, that.
Who is she?
I said, "That's and he said, "That's Leilani now. She's awesome. Don't don't go hating on Leilani." He liked her. He didn't care for her actions. He said, "Don't hate on Leilani." And Biggie has given me a card for my son.
Yeah, I couldn't make it Saturday. I hated that, but wanted to make sure he still got his card.
That's very nice. Simply addressed to B Money.
Will will your son know it's for him?
I think so. B Money. And I'll tell him.
I just thought of a creative little nickname.
I like it. Well, he's sometimes called B Money or B Dizzle.
Okay.
Oh, I
like
didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know B Dizzle.
When he was doing his Little League Baseball, during his brief Little League Baseball career, he wrote B Dizzle on his helmet.
Okay.
Even though he didn't get a whole lot of hits. You know, a few here and there. I don't know that he rose to the name B Dizzle, but he had it there. He'll open this. He opens an envelope in a weird way. He'll just like, by the time it's done, it's just ripped. Because he's found out about that money now. He knows.
Well, that's what I was going to say. As we learned last week, he was he opened one card and was surprised that it had money in it.
Shocked.
So I want to make sure you tell him this does have money in it.
The first card that came through, I gave it to him, and he opened. He said, "There's money in here.
Yeah,
there's $100 in here. What? And I had there may be more of that coming. It was a nice moment.
I'm trying to remember back, because obviously when I graduated high school, it was a different century.
Yes. Yes.
And we had, like I said, a larger senior class, and we got lucky with the weather, so our ceremony was on the football field. So there was a lot of people there. If anyone hooted and hollered for me, I never heard it. And B, I know like the valedictorian spoke. I think his name was Richard something.
Yes.
But I think we got to vote on the second speaker.
We did too. That's how we did it.
And I think his name is David.
Because he's probably a good speaker.
But yeah, he was a popular, good-looking guy, and he gave his speech is the one I remember.
That's what we did. The valedictorian spoke, but before that was someone, and it was, they had like 15 names you could vote on. Mine was in the hat. Mine was in the hat.
Submitted your own?
I submitted my own. I nominated myself to be speaker on graduation.
It's pretty egotistical, isn't it?
Well, it was. I wanted it known that I could.
You didn't write an outline for a speech that you never gave, did you?
I had a grid ready to go.
I have some things I'd like to say.
Just in case the person, our speaker,
the following people cheated off of me in spelling.
That's right. I wanted it known. I wanted wanted to get a few things off my chest.
The following people took extra snacks during the lunch line.
That's right. But alas, I was not voted in to speak, and so we had Jill Herring. I remember her speech to this day. She told me later she wrote it in the car on the way over. Okay. Wonderful. And then the valedictorian, who was good. This kid, by the way, the valedictorian that spoke at my son's graduation, they talked about all the things he had done. He's already got, like, his whole freshman first semester is pretty much done because he did college at the same time he was doing high school.
I hear more and more people do that. You get, it's like early college, they call it, something like that.
Yeah, he did early college at NC State in addition to doing this, and then got a full ride to Stanford to study it was some sort of scientific, already you can tell he's going to be huge, and the salutatorian the same way.
You got to keep it together, though.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's it.
You never know.
It's opened up for him. And the salutatorian got a full scholarship. She was one of 5 people in the country to get this particular scholarship to Wake Forest. So she got a full ride to Wake Forest. My son said when they announced that, he turned to the person next to him and he said, "I'm going to East Carolina and my parents are paying for the whole thing."
What's a scholarship?
I guess you could say I got my own little scholarship.
He's sitting right back there. That's right. He gave me. I was able to make eye contact with him, and give him the old the point. Exactly. It was really fun, and it was emotional. I did not expect to be so emotional, but I was. When he walked in, they played Pomp and Circumstance, and he walked in.
Yeah.
I started crying almost immediately.
Now, did you guys have a special dinner afterwards or anything?
No.
Just right on back home.
We had a lot of leftover.
Well, he had his party Saturday night.
The party was Saturday.
I wasn't sure if you still took him for a fancy steak dinner on.
We probably should have. He wanted a cigar. He kept.
Son.
Well, do you have to be 21 to smoke now?
You do.
I think you do.
We can't buy, that's for sure. So he just started hinting to me, "You're going to give me that cigar before." And I said, "No, I'm not. No, what are you talking about?" And then he out and out said, "A lot of us are going to be smoking cigars after the graduation." And I said, "Well, you're not. I'm not buying you a cigar. If you get a cigar, you can get it somewhere else." So that was what he didn't do it. And they took some pictures and stuff. And then he came on home. I did think, well, maybe we should go out for like a steak dinner or something.
Yeah.
We didn't. It was
But it was a late evening anyway.
It was true.
It was. They do those here. The way they do it is, you've got so many high schools and they just rotate it over the weekend. We were the last one, the very last. It's done by rotation every year. And next year they'll probably be first. But anyway, so it was 7 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon when we were done. But I have to tell you, they do that so meticulously. I mean, it was supposed to start at 5. It was 5 on the dot when they started. The whole thing was done in an hour and 20 minutes, and there were almost 500 kids and all were announced.
That's impressive.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. I was very impressed with it. But we had some leftover, taco bar.
Yeah, I was afraid you may have overbought food. For the Saturday gathering.
Unbelievable. The Saturday gathering had so much food left over. I mean, but what are you going to do?
You just never know.
You never know. And,
Yeah.
And the kids, the teens did they loved it. They thought it was really, really good.
Well, and who knows? You could go home today and there's teens in your kitchen sitting there enjoying a whole nother fajita bar.
Exactly. I'd be glad to have them doing that. That'd be
I'm
just
trying
fun.
to think back too, because again, you can't help but think of your high school memories on an occasion like this. And when we graduated high school, the very next day, a group of us, most of our high school, a lot of us went to the same hotel in Virginia Beach. It's an easy trip. We went to the Blue Marlin,
right,
which I think is still standing.
All right.
And that was the first and only time I ever had a cigar.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Someone, they just appeared poolside one night, like Monday or Tuesday night after the graduation.
There it was.
And it's not for me. I know people love it, but it's not my thing.
I told my son, you'll wind up getting sick if you smoke this cigar. He didn't yet, but he plans on, if a cigar comes his way, putting the cap and gown back on so he can put on Instagram.
Ah, that image.
That's what it is.
That's
the
what it
image
is,
of the
yeah.
Instagram. That's what it's about.
Is he doing anything this week, or is it just golf, hang time, or
It's just hang time now? Yeah, he didn't. He wanted to go to the DR, but he has no passport, so we didn't. He wound up not being able to do that.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
That's probably better than keep that money through the summer.
that's right. If the money makes it through the summer, I should probably take your money here and never even tell him about it. And
Just
then
as he's
the last moment when he said, "I'm out of money," I'll say, "Look at what
Mr. Biggie.
Look at what
has
Mr.
come
Biggie
through.
did. There you go, B Money. We have one card left that is unopened. That you
Oh, wait, what's that over there?
oh, what? Yeah, what's behind
Under your suitcase.
behind the tree? Dave Aiken gave him a purple and gold tie that he loved.
I loved it.
Real sharp.
He wore it to the graduation. He
Yeah, I
said,
saw
I mean,
it.
he opens it. And because it's East Carolina color.
Oh, yeah.
And so that was really nice. And then some of our, the Diesel, my pickleball partner, he and his wife put the card in there and said, "Congratulations and good luck at ECU crossed out, ASU crossed out, ECU."
I love that.
As you know,
It was a journey.
it was a journey. He had gone back and forth.
First choice, second choice, first choice.
That's right.